Hey, my name is John Brown, and I was talking about creating Deadpool back in the 80s. And one of the things I've been seeing is, you got to understand something. I haven't read a Deadpool comic. I've never read an X-Force. When I tell you I created the character and that he was boosted from me by Marvel and by Fabian and Rob, okay, it's the real deal. For you kids out there, do not send them guys anything. Let them do it on their own. It's their job. The other thing I wanted to talk about was when I initially wrote Deadpool, he was supposed to. Me and my mother had a discussion about people we knew, and the mother had brain cancer and she died. And as fate would have it, her son turned up with brain cancer. So that's a real thing. Deadpool being injected with a serum to augment his natural powers to begin with, as a human mutate, that's all, from that. And that's where he ties in his past with Wolverine. A lot of that stuff that I had written down, now that stuff I didn't have copies of, but I'm going to tell you about it, not knowing it. Now, did they put any of that in a comic book? I don't know, because I haven't read any of it. One of the things I did see is that my daughter sent me a picture online, and it's Deadpool running with 2 machine guns, and he's saying boobies. Now, I don't know. I don't know where their heads are when they heard crazy, or I saw the video about Rob talking about, well, when I was a little kid, I used to talk to myself in the garage. Yeah, I bet you did. Listen, let me tell you something right now, and I'm going to tell you right now. My uncles told me stories when I was a kid, okay? And here's the truth again. Deadpool's crazy, but he's not handicapped. He's not special needs. He's not reasoning with multiple personality disorders. Some of the things I see that they do, that the writers have done, and that's okay that they've done that. I get that. That's fine with that character. But my initial story was, my Uncle Gene, actually all my uncles were Philly cops, including my father. My Uncle Stosh married to my Aunt Betsy, was a Philly cop. Make a long story short. There's a place called Byberry in Philadelphia, and my uncle tells a story, and I don't know if the story's true. Maybe he just tells it to get us to laugh. But his police car had a flat tire, and when you change the tire, you put your hubcaps you put your lug nuts in the hubcap, and it sits there. Well, there was a fence up, and my uncle stood up, and the hubcaps got kicked over, or the lug nuts got kicked out of the hubcap and into the gutter. And one of the things that happens is one of the guys were behind the fence, and my uncle's standing there, and the guy goes, "Hey," he says, "buddy," he says, "if you get a lug nut off of each wheel, you can put that tire back on, and you can get out of here." And my uncle turned around, and he goes, "Hey, man," he says, "you're a pretty smart guy." And he goes, "I'm behind this fence because I'm crazy, not because I'm stupid." And that should be the key thing you should remember with that character, why he was written that way. Now, the other story was my Uncle Bobby. They used to say, "Hey, you're crazy, you're nuts. Why do you think the way you do?" And that's where I get doorknobs from with Deadpool and other things. When I initially created him. Now, am I responsible for the stories that came out after X-Force or any of that stuff, or actually the stories in X-Force? Absolutely not. Did I create the character? Absolutely I did. I did create that character. And I'll tell you right now, on a side note, I'll take a polygraph test against them other 2 guys, and I will win. I will pass that test. I will take a polygraph to prove my truth if I have to. About Deadpool being crazy. When I asked my uncle, and my uncle was he was a functioning alcoholic, okay? Drink almost a case of beer a day, but he was a great guy. I asked him one day down on the waterfront before, he started work and he had a case of beer there that he didn't even get into yet. And I said, hey, Unc, I said, you know, everybody says you're crazy. You know, what's your view of it? And I'm asking him, which is really messed up. And my Uncle Bobby said to me, he says, John, he says, people's opinion of me being crazy means that they're not seeing what I'm seeing. That also tells me that I'm also operating on a higher level. Now, my Uncle Bobby was also a demolitions guy in the Army. So there's a lot of stuff going on here with that character's origin that nobody's talking about, you know. The fact that he's crazy means he's a little off keel, and he functions on another level, you know. But running around saying random stuff and killing people just to kill them, I mean, he's supposed to be a wisecracking hero. He's supposed to be a wisecracking killer hero. I mean, now, do they depict him that way? I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you. But when I sit here and I say I created him, I created him. Will they allow me any input? No, because I'm basically a Joe Nobody. I mean, Rob's been drawing for years. Let's get that straight. And you know, as much as I'm not a fan of his art, he does have talent. We have to give him at least credit where credit's due. You know, the other thing, Deadpool speaks a few languages. Well, so do I. French, German, Japanese. I wonder, does that got any kind of correlation? Is there any kind of... We'll have to see. I haven't had 25 years of WonderCons or Comic-Cons to let people kiss my feet. And I probably wouldn't. I'm pretty much a down-to-earth guy. You know, right now I'm sick. And my decision to do this is I didn't want to be a Nikola Tesla. The guy died poor and penniless, and did he get credit for having the parts to invent a radio, or, you know, Westinghouse and Edison and all those guys? All those guys took, okay? I didn't want to be that guy. So, you know, if I'm not here tomorrow, the world at least knows that I told my piece, and they can be the ones to decide. There's going to be people that like him, and then there's going to be, yeah, this guy here, he just tells the truth. It's, you know, he sounds real. And like I said, as far as a lie detector test, I will take a lie detector test myself. And you guys, you are more than welcome to sit along with me and see how, you know what, we could do Steve Wilkos, guys. You know, the lawyers laugh about it when I say it, but you know what? It'll tell a little bit of another story, won't it? You know, and we just ask a few random questions, and I'd like to see you guys try to come out on top. So, that's all I have to say about that for now. But I will be back with another video, and we're going to talk about Domino. Yeah, that's right. I created her too. Okay? Let's get that straight. But we'll explain Domino on another day as well. So, right now, I just want to thank you guys for watching.